Hello, hello. Today we are going to talk about making babies. Well, technically, Chat GPT babies. I don't know what they're actually called. We've just been calling them Chat GPT babies in over in passive income pathways groups. So, whatever they're called, we're going to make them today. I'm going to show you how I make them, and then you can copy my process, and I would love to see what you come up with. So, if you're wanting to know what the Chat GPT babies are, you can go to the openai.com blog. It gives you a rundown of how it's letting you customize your own GPTs. There are so many ways that we can use these. My brain is literally exploding over the possibilities, and it just came out this past week, you guys. Like, I am not a super technical person. I'm not over on X talking about the ins and outs and configurations and APIs and element OPs and all that stuff, okay? But what I have done is I dove into this rabbit hole and created some GPTs for my own use and for my people. One of the things that I want you to take note of is paying attention to the blog for when new things come out. Now, it is important to note that this is only as of right now. Sunday, November 12th is when I'm recording this. As of right this second, it is only available. This option is only available for paid GPT users. So you have to make sure you have a paid account for this to work. You're going to log in and you're going to click on Explore. And then you're going to click Create a GPT. If this is grayed out or like it's not clickable, then you are probably not on the paid account. Now, there are two ways to build your chat baby. There's an easy mode, which is what we're in right now. And then there is a little bit more advanced, but not super technical mode that I'll show you in just a moment. So, GPT Builder says, hey, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer who helps format my code. What would you like to make? I don't know anything about software engineering stuff. So, what we're going to talk about is create an ADHD assistant that breaks large tasks into smaller, manageable tasks in an easy to follow to do list format. Great choice. How about naming this GPT task tracker? Would that work for you? Sure. And you can see over on the right-hand side, it already took my information and it created some quick buttons here. How can I break my project down into steps? Create a to-do list for my assignment. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Help me organize. What's a good way to start my big task? So those are starters. Now over here on the left-hand side, oh my gosh, how cute is this image? It says, here is the profile picture for Task Tracker. Do you like it or would you like any changes? I love it. Now, GPT Builder is saying, hey, awesome, dude, let's fine tune the task tracker a bit more. So it wants to better understand the role. So now we need to tell it the type of tasks or projects that it would typically help with. It says, this will help me ensure it provides relevant and effective assistance. These tasks will vary, but the main focus is business tasks for bloggers and entrepreneurs. Why can't I spell that word? I've been an entrepreneur for like 20 years and I still can't spell it. UEEU, I don't know, entrepreneurs. I think I spelled it right. I had to pause and change the screen layout because I was covering where it was talking. So now let's talk about Task Tracker and how it should interact with users. Should it be strictly professional or a bit more friendly and encouraging? It should be funny, sassy, and encouraging. This is where you're deciding on the tone of your chat baby. Now, we're going to talk about use cases in a minute, but whenever you're configuring this, you've got to think about the purpose. Who is using it? If you're using it, it's going to be different than if your clients are using it, or if you're using it for your clients, which is also going to be different than if you put it out to the general public. Now, GPT Builder is asking for a specific situation or type of task where you would want a task tracker to ask for more details or clarification. If the task is complex or you don't understand exactly how to break it down into tiny steps for an ADHD user, please ask for clarification. Now, this takes a little bit of tweaking and you've got to kind of go back and forth. You've got to test it and, all of the things. But this is the general step by step using easy mode. So it says it's going to be funny, sassy, and encouraging. It says, now, how does this work for you? So you're going to go over to the right and you're going to say, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Help me organize. All right, let's tame that overwhelm with some snazzy organizing. First things first, let's break it down into bite sized pieces. Here is how we will do it. Tells you to do a brain dump, cool. Sort the chaos, cool. Prioritize like a boss, which is really difficult for some of us. So maybe I'll go back and say, hey, this is how you prioritize and teach it how to teach the user how to prioritize. But this is great advice, you guys. Great advice. I love it. So let's say I need to say, let's see, clean my uh office. What I need to clean my office. Let's just say that. If it tells me. Step by step, somewhat sassy guide. So it's being a little silly, and that's okay. I told it to be sassy and funny. If you want it to have a different voice or you don't want it to do certain things, you just go back over and tell it not to do certain things. Cable, tangle, tango. That's a mouthful. Um, so that broke it down into steps, and then I can probably ask it to do even more. Now, this is a very top level overview of easy mode, but generally, you're really just having a conversation and saying, hey, this is what I want it to do. This is who I'm serving. This is what you should sound like. This is the tone you should use. And then if you go to configure, oh, this is where the magic really happens. Okay, so if you go to configure, you can change the conversation starters. And one of the reasons to change the conversation starters would be if you're going to use it to say you're going to use this to direct people to your ADHD coaching. I don't do ADHD coaching. I have no idea where this idea came from. It's just random. But let's say that my goal was to direct them to ADHD coaching. Then I'm going to have those conversation starters kind of as like a breadcrumb to where the bot can answer the question thoroughly. And then at the end of the answer, it can say something like, hey, if you need more information or you want to do a one-on-one call, go here. So think of these as breadcrumbs. Now, in the instructions box, this is already here because of create mode. But if you just start out in configure mode, it's going to be completely empty. So you're going to go in and you're going to be specific AF. You're not going to leave anything up to chance. You're not going to have any ambiguity. What's that word? Ambiguity? Whatever. It's not going to be vague. It's going to be super specific. You're going to use clear language. You're going to tell it which tone to use as well as what not to say. The conversation starters are going to guide them to the next step, which is going to guide them to the answer you really want them to have. So make sure you create those based on that path. You want to give your people a path. This isn't just for them to go back and forth with this thing all day. They've got to have something to do after it serves them. So you can also Give it specific responses to use. Like if someone says they're overwhelmed, please respond with, hey, XYZ, here is a blog post about how to not be overwhelmed, or watch this YouTube video about how to not be overwhelmed. Like something that you have, a resource that you already have. And again, this is if you're creating it for clients or for the general public. If you're creating for yourself, it'll be a little different. We'll talk about that in just a second. So I like to link to specific trainings. Now, in this box right here, you actually get, I think, up to like, it's 8,000 characters. And when I Googled it to find out how many words that was, because my brain doesn't process 8,000 characters, it said anywhere from like 1,241 to 2,000, I think, kind of random and a big, a big number, a big spread there. But 1,500-ish, that's a good number in between. So that's quite a few words that you can use. Now, you get to decide next if you want to have web browsing capabilities and if you want to have the DALL-E image generator. If you're creating this for clients to use and you're only training it on your data, you might not want web browsing to be enabled. I created a chat baby for my VIPs, and web browsing is not enabled because on the web, people teach you they give really bad advice on how to blog, how to monetize your blog, how to make passive income, blah, blah, blah. There's tons of bad advice out there. I don't want that bad advice convoluting my little chat baby. I want my people to come in and get the right answers according to me. So I turned off the web browsing and the DALL-E. Right here is the knowledge base section. Now I'll show you my little chat baby in a second and you'll see what I've done with mine, but you can upload PDFs, you can upload Word docs, and those are going to teach your little chat baby what to do, what to say. For example, mine teaches the PIPS path. So it's step by step by step. And I put a bunch of files in there. Now, there's a limit of 10 files right now. However, I found a little way around like my files are small, maybe 1,000, 2,000 words. So I found a way around it to kind of give it more knowledge. I took several of my docs and I combined them into one doc and then exported or downloaded it as a Word doc and put it in. So maybe 5 of my docs can then become one doc, if that makes sense. Because if it's limiting the number of files, then you need to shove as much into those files as you can to give this thing as much knowledge as possible. So let's talk a little bit about use cases. So let me switch this real quick. Okay, so use cases. If you are using this just for yourself, you might use it, or just for yourself and your team, let's say that. You might use it to where you're uploading examples of your best blog posts and your best emails and your voice. Take a transcript from your YouTube video, take a transcript from your podcast, pop all of that in there with all the sayings that you use, all the quotes, all of that. A lot of my VIPs talk about Sadie-isms because I say the same things over and over a lot of the time, like just go do the thing. So I worked some of those Sadie-isms into my training, and now my bot talks like me. And so if you're doing that to build your own blog posts, to help your VA write better emails for your brand, that kind of thing, that's how you can use it for yourself. You can also use it for yourself as an actual assistant. Let me show you this real quick. So if you see right here, this says actions. I've got to move myself again. This is difficult. Okay. On the bottom left, it says add actions. This is where you're going to add in, right now, I think there was Zapier or Canva, but Zapier specifically, hopefully I said that name right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. There's an article on the Zapier blog that shows you how to create little chat babies with ChatGPT and Zapier. And so I'm not going to go into it. You guys can read the article. It would be really boring for me to read it. But it shows you some of the different things you can do. And one of the things I'm like super excited about is that you can have a calendar GPT. What? 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 I what? It says you're an assistant for me for any given day. Check my calendar and output the agenda for the day. Oh my gosh, you guys, do you know how many people I've hired to handle my calendar because I cannot handle my calendar myself? Do you know how many people? So many people, and they can't handle it either because we're humans, and that's not stuff that we should have to freaking handle, okay? But I digress. Calendar GPT. You can be like, "Yo, what's up? What's on my calendar for today?" And it tells you, "Do this and this and this and this." And there's email addresses wrapped in it. Oh my gosh. Literally, you're making yourself an assistant there. So, that's another way that you can use it for yourself. Now, let's say you want to use this for your clients. If you are a freelancer, for example, now there's a bunch of options here, you guys. My brain is going crazy. So I'm sorry if this isn't super, super organized. I never am. But say that you're a freelancer and you're using it for your clients, you can help them run their calendar and stay on track. You can pop their calendar in there. And if they want you to tell them what's on the list for the day, just copy and paste it over. It's going to save you a lot of work. If they want you to write a blog post, they want you to write an email, load their brand voice, load their stuff up, and create a knowledge base for them. Right now, there's no limit on the number of chat babies you can create. I don't think. I've created a bunch. So I feel like if you have a couple of clients, each one can have a chat baby with their brand voice. Do you know how much? Oh my gosh, you guys. Do you know how much brain energy it's going to save you not having to be like, "Oh man, what's this brand voice again? What does she like to say? What are some of her quotes? What is da, 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 how does she do it?" Load all of that stuff up in here and you have a complete knowledge base. You can put their podcasts, their YouTube video transcripts, everything in here, and it's all at a glance. You could just type a question and get the answer. It's so beautiful. Okay. If you are like me and you have clients in a coaching program, I have a VIP coaching program. I have like 150 people in that coaching program right now. So it's growing and growing and growing. And so what I have to do is I have to figure out how I can help people inside my membership that does not require my one-on-one time. And what I did was I created a little chat baby that is specifically for pips. I loaded up all of the information from one of my main courses. And then I said some specific things like, if they ask about this, then you need to do this, XYZ. But think about it. If you have a membership, if you have a course, each of your courses could have a chat baby. This is so amazing. Okay, so that's another use case. And then last but not least, we have for public consumption. And so let me show you real quick here. Whenever you go to save your chat baby, it's going to say publish to me, people with a link, or public. And so if you want it to be public, you're going to click confirm, public, whatever, right? Click confirm. Now, say that you wanted to do public, you're going to go over here and it's showing me my task tracker. Let's go to edit GPT. Now, let's click this edit button right here. And you can, this is my husband's name. I guess that's who is paying for my ChatGPT account. So you've got my husband's name here. Your name, whatever matches up with your billing, is going to be here. And you can either use it or not. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because for public consumption, ChatGPT, OpenAI, they said that there's going to be a marketplace where you can sell these. And from what I understand, don't quote me on this. I consumed this information really quickly and just kind of played with it myself instead of reading everybody else's stuff and getting confused. But what it seems is you're going to get paid based on how many people use your chat baby. I don't know what that structure is going to look like. I have no clue, but it seems like it's going to be a potential revenue stream. So you also want to advertise yourself. Now, I tried to set up my domain here. When I clicked verify domain and I put in passiveincomepathways.com, it it said it doesn't want the HTTP. Maybe. Let's see. It didn't give me, okay, it gave me the verification. Don't type the HTTP, y'all. It didn't give me the verification earlier. So I'm going to add that to my domain and have it registered. So when I do create these public chat babies, people will see that it came from me, and then they can go and click on my stuff and go to my website and check out my blog and, all the things. Now you're going to copy the link here after you click confirm, whichever way. You're going to press this to copy the link. And then what I did was I went and created a pretty link for mine. So it's like passiveincomepathways.com / and then just one keyword so I can remember. This right here is where you're going to have your website be clickable. So anybody that uses it can click and, oh my gosh, page views, brand growth, just saying. All right. So for public, there's so many ways to do this, but the way that I would do it is I would, again, focus on those breadcrumbs and leading people to your freebies, your products, your blog post, your, whatever. Let me show you an example real quick of mine. I have a little checklist. I keep looking over here, you guys. Okay. Oh, protect your information, you guys. Do not put sensitive information that you never want anybody to see inside of your chat baby. Okay. I made a gentle fitness coach for my husband's blog. He specializes in chronic illness, fitness, for people with chronic illness. And this is like chair yoga exercises, that kind of thing. So I would say I need an easy chair yoga routine. And then the gentle fitness coach is trained to be nice, kind, encouraging, but also is told not to do anything too complex, warn them about talking to their doctor before starting, all that stuff. And it beautifully gives us a routine. Now, you can do this with so many different things. Like I said, you guys, my brain is it's literally on fire right now because of the possibilities. And maybe if you have ADHD like me, you're doing the same thing right now and you're almost like glitching out because there's so many ideas. Think about how specific you can get for every freaking use case. It's insane. It's insanity. Okay. So I would recommend just brain dumping, making a list of your ideas. Okay. Make a list of your ideas for your chat babies and just do one at a time. And if you want to do like a silly chat baby, what I would do is make one for your business that's going to make you money or help you save time or money or energy in some way. And then you can like reward yourself with a little bit of brain candy and do a funny or silly one. I'm working on a course GPT. So my people that I teach how to make courses can use it. I have Pips GPT. Let me show you the back end of Pips GPT. First, I'm going to show you kind of what it's going to do. So I wrote some blog posts. Now I need to set up an email list. What do I do next? Okay, and so this isn't 100%. This is very minimum viable product right now because I'm just testing it out for my Pips people. But I put in some very specific things. So if, for example, somebody asks about email marketing, it is supposed to send them to my email marketing course. Well, not mine, Emily's, but it's inside. One of my VIPs created an email marketing course inside of VIP. So look at this, you guys. It says, remember, Emily's email and SEO membership can be a great resource for this. It says to check it out on your sub trio dashboard. this is interesting. So this confused my instructions. My instructions said that if somebody asks about email marketing, that they need to point to Subtrio and Emily's specific course. However, my trainings, my training files mentions Emily's email and SEO membership being a resource. So I need to get more specific. You guys have to be clear. You have to be specific. Okay. Um, and then it walks you through all of the steps. And then it says, remember, the key is to provide continuous value to your audience. Don't forget to leverage the resources available to you. The Facebook group, Subtrio courses, and the PIPS YouTube channel can be incredibly helpful. You could add a link there so they go and visit the YouTube channel. And always remember, do the thing. You guys, I told you that I always say do the thing, right? This is telling them to go do the thing. It also tells them to be radically generous with the money that they make and stay focused on their why. I want every single one of my VIPs to be radically generous. So that's very important to me that they do that. Let's see. What about blog hosting? Like, who am I supposed to host my blog through? This is why I do not have it hooked up to the internet, because I don't want it to give a bad advice. Okay. So this is very specific. It says use Big Scoot's shared hosting to host your blog. Full stop. Period. Do not use Purple Host. Anyway, okay. That's a little shade to the host that everybody recommends that we know is not great, but they pay their affiliates really well. So people keep scamming others into it. But anyway, I digress. Again, you can train your chat baby to say anything that you want it to say. Okay. Again, it says do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. Now I can go and I can edit. And if you look over here under configure, it doesn't have an image yet. I didn't put one in, but it's got tons of instructions. And these are all out of order and they are a mess. I've just been building it step by step by step. So what I'm going to do next is create a Google Doc that has like a template, and it's going to say, do these things, say these things, avoid these things, use this tone. If they ask about XYZ, refer them to XYZ. You know, I'm going to be way more specific. This was my first completely, like, fully built out chat baby. I did the Bloggy McBlog blog, and it's pretty good, but I'm so particular about blogging that it's going to take a little bit more from me. Again, here are the conversation starters. These are for my clients, so I'm not trying to lead them to buy anything. They get everything of mine for free when they're in my coaching. So they pay their $97 a month and they get all of my trainings. They get my Facebook group, weekly coaching calls, interaction with me, all my coaches, all the things. Okay. So I'm not trying to pitch them on anything. The point of this is for them to use their resources and for me to point them back to said resources. So, for example, help, I'm stuck. It's supposed to ask them where they're at and what they're doing. First, can you tell me where you are on the PIPS path? Yeah, it's doing it. It's doing it. Okay. Are you working on your blog posts, creating freebies, setting up an upsell, or something else? Just let me know which step you're currently on and I'll guide you through the next steps. Remember, one step at a time, no overwhelm, just focused and beep, do the thing. I also told it to use, drop at least one F-bomb per response. I told it to channel Gary Vaynerchuk and Jillian Michaels. I told it not to be too nice. Because I was live building this and my VIPs were like, no, that's way too nice. So I was like, you can be a little mean, but be encouraging too. And so we perfected the voice. I'm really loving it. But it's saying, where are you on the PIPS path? I'm setting up a freebie. So it says this is where you really start to engage your audience and build your email list, identify the problem you're solving, choose the type of freebie, and it gives ideas because it says use the freebie ideation with AI document for inspiration and types of freebies. I can link to this. I have a document. It's 200 over here, right here, 250 plus digital product ideas. And then again, I have all 10 of these in here. Um, you can combine them, which mine isn't fully built out yet. I'm definitely going to combine. And then it talks about my aligned funnel framework, which is another thing that's available to my VIPs. Um, and then it says prepare for the next step. No excuses, do the thing, use the Pips YouTube channel and the Facebook group, blah, 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 blah. All of the things, you guys. There is so much that you can do with these chat babies that I am going to just have to stop the video now so you can go and do it. Okay. I want to see what you create. Remember to be clear and just focus on one idea at once. Put those blinders on. And if you're not sure where to start, the chat baby I would start with is one for you to save time. So it could be a blog post builder, and you put in a bunch of your great blog posts, and then it captures your voice and your style. You could put in a template for your specific blog posts. You can do an email builder. And so then you can write out 12 emails at once if you want. But be very specific and start off with something that will help you save time and energy in your business. One of the next things I'm creating is going to be for my VAs to be able to use my voice to write the emails. So I don't have to write the emails every single time. Tell me in the comments what you're creating. Leave a link if you're going to have a public one. I would love to check it out. And then if anybody leaves the links and I love them, I'll make another video kind of like reviewing them and going through them and using them and maybe breaking them. But hey, it's all fun and games, right? We're just trying things out. So if you have any questions about this, leave them below and I will try to find the answer for you if I do not have it. I hope to see you soon.